Guys, if you've been a fan of my channel for a while, you know the love that I have for Ridge. Our collaboration with Ridge has been an awesome union, which has turned into a great friendship. So it should be no surprise that Ridge has leveled up once again. The best wallet that you can buy just got a little bit better. Ridge is now offering a limited edition Bad Guy Ink wallet. If you haven't tried the Ridge wallet yet, now's the time for you to change your pocket game. The Ridge wallet, it's light, sleek, industrial, and is now Bad Guy Ink inspired. Guys, it's a game changer. You're gonna love it. But if you don't, there is a 90-day free trial. These official Bad Guy Ink wallets are limited. Only 1,000 wallets will be made, and a percentage of the sales will go to Hire Heroes USA, an organization that helps military members, veterans, and military spouses to find new careers. So go to ridge.com to order yours today. Make sure you use the promo code Chael to get this special deal. Guys, I want to break this down. I just want to do this math for you because we run into this equation very often. This is going to sound old, but the formula is the same. It just never gets applied. Let me tell you what's going on here. You have Merab doesn't want to fight Aljo. Now, we all understand that, don't we? All of us do. And even when we hear Dana White speak about it, we know in our heart, Dana understands it too. Dana is the most loyal person in this business, as a matter of fact. If you lack loyalty somewhere and he witnessed it, he'll look at you differently. He might not say anything, but he will look at you differently because that's who he is at his core. And I only bring that to you because Merab wants to make it perfectly clear that he won't fight Aljo. That's respectful. That's honorable. I'm not going to wince, not even in public. Now, I feel as though that's something that they could have worked out quietly. Where Merab could say to him, I was a guest in this country and you took me and I love you, my brother. I helped you to get to where you are and you helped me to get to where I am. And now we're going to play a little game. Going to play a little game out there with the media, a little game of bluff. They know that we're friends. They know that we're close. They know that we train together. They've been setting that octagon up since 1993, and they never put anybody with our level of relationship against each other. But boy, they threatened it a few times. They threatened it with Rory McDonald and George St. Pierre just by example, but they've never actually done it. Now, furthermore, they haven't done it because it feels gross to us, doesn't it? I mean, we do understand, friends. We also understand there's business that comes in. But that's very different when that's your teammate. Your help and your sacrifice got him to a world championship. His help and his sacrifice got you to a #1 contendership. It sounds like everybody did their job. Boy, they threatened putting Daniel Cormier in there against Kane, didn't they? They never actually did it. They never actually booked the match. Meanwhile, you have Henry Cejudo coming out, looking at the one guy that everybody's going, oh my God, their jaw drops. I don't want that guy, right? Merab. And tells the world I want that guy. I mean, don't give me the guy, but you put him in a backup spot. My God, you bring that guy out in case Aljo doesn't come. It's a bluff, right? Henry has made his move. Henry did everything right. Henry did it perfectly. Why could Merab not say that about Aljo? Why could Merab not say, how come they won't give me this fight? They won't give me this fight because we're teammates. I had no idea being teammates was going to preclude me from taking what I have earned, which is a #1 contendership. But going back to Aljo, saying you want to do this, but I gotta fight my team. You think I'm going to fight my teammate? You're going to add a little bit to it. But of course I'm going to. Everybody knows if it's teammate versus teammate, you got to add a comma and a 0. Everybody knows that rule. Get the paperwork over. Why couldn't have they bluffed it? It's never happened. They've never actually put two guys together. And there's something about, like, if you say the words. Nate Diaz had made a thing about this years ago, but I always remembered it. You can't even say the words. Nate and Gilbert and Jake and Nick, they have a different code. But Nate said you wouldn't even joke about it. You wouldn't even comment. You wouldn't even respond if that's truly your friend. Then wouldn't matter who was on top and who was on bottom, who had the belt and who didn't. If it's that same spot, it's those same guys, and you flip-flop it, either way, you wouldn't even talk about it. This is what they said. Now, I can rewind that because this happened to Rashad. They asked Jon Jones about fighting Rashad. Rashad was a captain. He was a leader on the team. He was the world champion. And Jon said, I don't want to fight him. That's not who I'd want to fight, but yeah, if I had to, I would fight him. Now, Jon thought that was the politically correct answer. And in all fairness and defense to Jon, he was real young at the time. Jon was real young at the time. I just remember what Rashad said, though. Rashad said, we don't have to do this. We could have let it slide if you stuck at the I'm not going to do it. Now that you've opened the door, I have to say equal. I'm ahead of you. I'm older than you. I'm a captain of the team. I'm the champion. My record is better than you. I have to at least do what you said, which means now we have two guys saying, well, we don't want to, but we would. So I have to at least do what you did. And as the champion, as the leader, I probably got to go a little bit in front of what you did, which is just settled you right down on yes. Rashad had a pack a bag, off he goes, right? I mean, the whole story of Black Zillions, now Stanford MMA. A very fascinating story how they came about. Glenn Robinson, rest his soul. Oh, Glenn was such an important and interesting character in MMA, truly, who never got his credit, never got recognized. What Glenn and Dan Lambert had going on, it was the exact same as NASCAR owners. Chevron taking on the Mars Corporation. I mean, you had these massive things, and these guys got looked at like in a negative light. Oh, look at these guys. They're battling with each other. Two rich guys throwing their money around. Oh, man, it was awesome. If we would have had 4 or 5 more of those, our whole sport, just globally, if we had 4 or 5 more rivalries like Glenn and Lambert, our sport, our industry would be so much different. Okay, I want to come back and look at this, guys. So Henry is now saying, I want to fight Merab. Now, it's a bluff. Do you guys know the last time? You do understand, guys. Henry's scheduled to fight out. I got to make sure I spill this out. Henry and Aljo are going to fight. Now, let's just say that they didn't. Just say that they didn't. It appears that Aljo's the weak side of this, just so you know. I mean, I know that's playing in the media. Aljo is the champion, is the only one in that fight in on participation of the actual pay-per-view. So if there's anybody, at least from a monetary standpoint, who is not going to pull out, it would be Aljo. So that fight's going to happen. But let's just say that it doesn't, okay? You understand that Sugar Sean's the backup guy. Okay. Hold on. Before we go to that, and you know how much I love the backup guy, tell me a time in history, because we love to use history as the great trajectory to the future, right? That's what we love to do. When you get somebody smart and he wants to come out and give you an analysis, he must give you an analysis and then support it with facts from the past. That's what you call a good analyst. Now, tell me the last time we put a backup guy in. Tell me the last time we put a backup guy in. I didn't say a replacement. I didn't say a last-minute replacement at all. I said the backup fighter. Just specific term. Tell me the last time we put one in. You want me to tell you? Steve Jenham was his name, and the year was 1993. We don't put backup guys in. And even you people that recognize the Steve Jenham reference, I got a big asterisk by it too. Backup guy's never gone in. So look at the spot that Henry just created. Henry just came out. He called out the guy everybody's scared of. He called out the guy the champ doesn't want to fight. Henry didn't call him for a fight because he's available and free. You can go deal with him. Let's just put him in the backup spot. So now Henry's called him out. Henry's taking control. Henry's taking charge. Henry's done a call out, and he called him for a position that doesn't mean have him fight me. Okay? That's what you guys are missing. He didn't call him for a position. He called him out. A call out means it's you and me, right? Mano a mano. Not this time. Henry called him out to go into a backup spot. You not see the brilliance here? Now the backup spot is already taken by Sugar Sean. So is there a scenario where Merab jumps Sugar Sean? And Henry's entire goal here is to just start a fight between those two. Okay, so Henry calls Merab for a backup position, which is already given to somebody else. In the history of the sport, the backup has never, 0 times, has never gone in. But do you see the difference in what Henry did versus Merab and Aljo saying we won't do it? I'm not saying who's right or wrong here. I'm explaining to you a meaningful difference. Aljo doesn't want to fight Merab. Merab doesn't want to fight Aljo. We like that though, right? We get that. That adds credit to those guys. But hold on. Neither does Henry. Okay. Henry didn't call him to fight him. He called him to put a backup, and nobody's ever gone in as a backup. Now, what Henry's really hoping that happens here, just so you guys understand this, if you want to play right into Henry's hand, all Henry wants to do is get a debate going, get a public fight going between Merab and Sugar Sean. We have seen guys, left, right, and center, leapfrog in a number one contender spot. We have put no honor in that position. We have no integrity to that position. You're a number one contender today, and without ever getting a title opportunity, you're now no longer a number one contender. Oh, by the way, you didn't even get beat. We do it all the time. We did it a week ago with a guy named Surreal Gone. It was supposed to be Francis with the belt. It was then supposed to be Stipe with the fire truck. It ends up being Surreal Gone. We got no problem with it. But we will move that all the time. So all Henry's trying to do, right, is get a good look at Sugar Sean, man. That's a tough fight. Takes a good look at Merab. That's a tough fight. My job as king is to make the most money for the easiest fight. So why don't I do this? I'm probably going to have to go deal with this equation. But first, I'm going to have them bludgeon each other. All we have to do is get a conversation in the media that Merab has leapfrogged Sugar Sean. That's all we have to do. That's it. They will then pull the daggers out and go after each other. You understand that? What Ankalaev did to Blachowicz when Blachowicz might going to go in and take on Teixeira, Prohaska, and the whole mix-up. But what Ankalaev did to him, he took him with him. All Henry wants to do is get a fight going. Henry wants to fight between Merab and Sugar Sean. That's what this is about. So before you think that Henry called out Merab, just so you understand, that's what this is about. Henry wants those two to fight, which is very smart. And all we have to do to get them to fight, not to mention Merab needs something to do. Merab isn't going to go fight for a championship, so what, are you going to sit around and see if Henry wins? Because even if Henry wins and Merab tries to take it, now he's taking an automatic rematch away from Aljo. Apparently, he doesn't want to do it. Now, nobody can talk this fast, but this is how my thoughts come out. I wake up this smart. I wake up knowing all about the sport. All Henry wants to do is get Merab and Sugar Sean in the ring together prior to one of them advancing to take on the winner of Henry versus Aljo. Just so you can understand what Triple C really said.